Hello and welcome my friends to The Flying Kick. I am Savino as always, and today we will take a look at one of my favorite new series. Released in 2021 for PC and consoles, Mayhem Brawler is, without any discussion, one of my favorite beaten ups ever. Yes, when the game first came out, it wasn't in its present form, having a more traditional combat, but after a while they updated it with the Air Supremacy update and transformed the game from water to any beverage you may prefer. Now the guys from the Turkish developer Hero Concept are back with a sequel, and honestly it was about time because we all need more time in Mayhem City. And the guys are back with all the guns they have because Mayhem Brawler 2 is not your small fry beaten up. Everything here is made to be epic, starting with the splash screen music. Seriously, take a listen to this. This is fantastic. Mayhem Brawler had an amazing OST, and this one won't be different by the look of things. All the tunes here are great, and I can't wait to hear more of it. And it wasn't only the music that received a bump here. The story is now more developed, being divided into two different timelines, one in 2025 and the other 20 years later. There's not much talk about the story here, except that the stakes are higher than before, and like the music, things were created to feel epic. The intro is available here on YouTube, so I won't bother showing it all here. I will be showing little She-Wolf because she looks adorable. Graphically, holy brawlers, the game looks fantastic, and it's a huge improvement over the first. I will be honest and say that I love the graphics in the first one, but the art here is on another level. This is showing the true potential of the artists from this team and their director. The use of 3D is very well done, and honestly, in a lot of moments I had to review my footage to be sure that I wasn't looking at some 2D assets. The shaders, the color tones make everything feel like a comic book, and in no moment will feel dissonant from the characters. And even being someone who definitely prefers exclusively 2D assets, I must say that what they did here is almost convincing me that this is probably the way to go in the future. This looks amazing. Now, let's talk about a bit the combat, because if the combat was already great in the first one, here things are again on another level. There were lots of changes in the combat. First, all the characters now have a weak and a strong attack. Grab and run have now their own buttons, although you can run in the classic way by tapping your directional. I like automatic grab, but there are enough reasons here to give it its own button. Telekinetic grabs? I'm down for that. You also have your special, which will work in different ways depending on how you use them, if stand still, moving, or in the air. You also have this new bar here, which is your transition bar, which we will talk about later. The combat here is incredible. It was already very good in the first game, but they outdone themselves in this one. Having two different attacks allows you to create more combos, and you not only have your pre-programmed combos, but you also can create your own, since the game is, in its heart, a free-form beaten up. You can do anything with your both attacks here, and the amount of freedom you have to create combos is amazing. Juggling enemies around is pretty easy, and how you can punish a boss if you know what you're doing is so incredibly fun that I don't remember when I was so excited for a game. Even the grapplers, which is my least favorite style, are incredibly fun to play in this game. Beastmaster is now probably one of my favorite characters ever. Look at these little pigs, Beep and Bop, which I used to hate in the first game. By the way, the demo lets you play with 4 of the 8 characters that will be available in the final build. Star, who is Stellar's mother and has the most OP and fun grab in history, She-Wolf, which needs no introduction, Apex Hunter, who was a boss in the first game, and Beastmaster, also a boss from the first game. It's a bit hard to classify them by stereotypes because none of them are exactly what you may expect. As I said, the grappler is one of my favorites in this game, so this is definitely not your traditional beat'em up. Now, one thing completely new in this game is the transition mechanic. You can, and must, when this bar is full, change your timeline and play with the other character you picked. This is pretty impressive because it changes the map, the player's characters and the enemies while keeping everything exactly where it was before. It's pretty awesome and honestly the type of change beat-em-ups need to make things more interesting. There is nothing wrong with keeping the traditional formula, but if you have a great idea and the means to execute it, go for it. I can see a ton of possibilities for this mechanic and I can't wait to see how it will fully work in the final game. Oh, and you can check my man Face from Major Player's channel here in the game giving you a hand. Check the dude. Awesome to see him here. But sure, there are things that I'm not exactly happy about. While the combat feels awesome and incredibly versatile, everything feels a bit unfinished. Sure, this is a demo and not everything is ready, but I feel the characters don't respond as they should or even as they did in the first game. It feels a little stiff to control them, they seem to move a bit slow, making escaping from traps or projectiles almost impossible unless you block them. It's like the gravity from the world is too high and the characters are struggling to move around. The transition mechanic is also a bit problematic in my view. While I think the idea is awesome, I don't like the idea of being forced to do it. You see, this bar here will fill over time, and when it's full, your character will lose strength, your vision starts to blur, and it gets unbearable to play unless you change your timeline. I can understand the idea behind it, but personally, I don't like this obligation to change. I love the idea of having two different characters under my control at the same time, but I would rather change between them when I feel like it. And there's the transitions in the boss fights. They happen every time you deplete one of the bars from their health, and it can be a bit problematic because all the characters, at least in this current build, reappear in an idle state, making you easy prey for the boss. And I found some glitches here and there, like my character not moving at all after the transition and not being able to transition if I pick Apex Hunter and Beastmaster. No matter what I tried, it didn't work. But that's just bugs, and I'm sure this will be solved. Overall, I think this game has a lot of potential. Playing the demo was an extremely fun experience, and I'm not happy that I could only manage to play this yesterday thanks to some extra work I'm having here, but better later than never. Mayhem Brawler 2 will be released next year for PC, Xbox, PlayStation and Nintendo Switch. And that's it for the video. Tell me down below if you played this demo, and if not, come on, what are you waiting for? Don't forget to also wishlist the game, the link will be in the description, and I'll be back tomorrow, I guess, talking about the recent Double Dragon DLC for River City Girls 2. But in the meantime, I hope you all have an awesome day, and remember, keep it up.